Greetings everybody, my name is James Green, aka Mr. FullTime GrindTime. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. I'm coming to you with a special announcement. The Omega Gamma Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is going red with a fitness event, and I'm hosting it. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of movements. You're going to benefit, you're going to love it. Now you're probably wondering why I have all of these items around me. Well, it's a virtual workout, which means more than likely you'll be in the comfort of your own home. So if you don't have weights, which weights are not required, but if you want to incorporate weights, I'm going to show you some cool ways to incorporate some homemade weights if you don't have regular weights. And I'll go through those when we're going through the workouts. Now, the first one we're going to do, and I'm going to show you some workouts, what we'll be doing, as well as some modifications. So that way, everybody will be able to do this workout. My workouts are for everybody. Now, the first one we're going to do is push-ups. Push-ups. Simple. You can either do them on your feet and hands. You can do them on your knees. If you do them on your knees, make sure that your upper torso from your knees to your shoulders are in line with each other. If you hunch over, you're doing more of a shoulder press. Now you can do that for our shoulder press, which will be our next exercise. Now also, before we move forward, if you have a counter or a sink or a couch or a wall and you want to do push-ups on the wall, let's say this is a wall, you can step forward and do your push-ups that way. Same thing here, you can work your way lower. So those are some modifications for the push-ups. Shoulder press. If you have weights, you can use dumbbells. If you only have one weight or a kettlebell or a weight plate, you can use those. If you have resistant bands are good. You just step your foot in them and just press on. Also, if you don't have anything, you have might have a pillowcase. Put some items in it. That way, you give it some weight. You press on. Put enough items in there that'll give you a good workout. You have a case of water. Of course, mine isn't full, but you can get a full case of water. Get you some gallons of water. Just remember, every 16 ounces is a pound, so a gallon is probably about 8 pounds per gallon. You can even get creative. If you got some grill, ain't nobody grilling right now, get your charcoal, anything, got some weight into it. Bicep curls. Bicep curls, same thing. You can put your feet in resistant bands, curl up. The wider you put your feet, the more resistance you're gonna have. Same thing with the kettlebell. You can curl with both hands. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can curl hammer curls or regular curls. As long as you're curling, we're good. Same thing here. Put some items in the pillowcase and get your curl on, all right? All right, next thing we have squats. Squats, you wanna get you a good base, good foundation, just outside the shoulder width. You wanna try to touch your knees with your elbows. If you can't, if you can only do a quarter squat, do a quarter squat. Do what you can, okay? Also, if you squat, make sure your knees don't go past your toes. Lift your toes, don't lift your whole foot. Just try to lift those toes when you go down. That way your knees don't go past your toes. If you need assistance, you can get a chair, you can get a counter, anything, and you just squat, come back up. So that's your modifications for a squat. If you want to get creative, you can use a dumbbell, kettlebell. You can even do goblin squats. All right, if you don't have weights, this is a bucket with 40 pounds of dirt. All right, you can do your squats like this. Put some items in the bucket. Let's get to it. All right, lunges. I'll put my resistant bands on. If you have these are going to be very beneficial. I strongly encourage you to use these. Now, when you're doing your squats, Don't let those bands bring your knees in. Keep your knees out when you're squatting. Whether you're doing a full squat or a half squat, keep those knees out. Lunges, same thing, all right? Try not to get your knees to go past your toes. You can have your hands on your hips. If you need assistance, put your hands on your quadriceps, on your thighs as you're lunging. You can also hold on to something. Whatever you hold on to, make sure that it's sturdy. You can lunge and lunge. If you have resistance bands, I strongly encourage it. If you don't, no problem. Last one for lower body is donkey kicks. Now, there's two ways you can do donkey kicks. On the floor. All right, and you're going up. If you really want to get a good work, try to kick like you're kicking the ceiling. If you have resistance bands on, they might come up. That's okay. And you can also do them standing up. Get you a chair, stand on the wall, get you something that you can hold on to. Come back a little bit and just kick up. Okay, those are your donkey kicks. Now, moving the core. We have crunches. Plenty of ways we can do crunches. You can do them with your feet on the ground. Hands on the back of your head. Don't pull on your neck. Put your hands in the back of your neck. That way you don't pull on your head and hurt your neck. And then when you're coming up, make sure your shoulder blades are coming off the ground, and make sure that you point your chin toward the ceiling. You can do the same thing with your hands in between your legs, as if you're reaching for something. Same thing with your feet up. Now let's say you don't want to get on the ground. That's fine. Get you a chair, get you something you can do a crunch on. Make sure you don't have back support. If it's a chair like a kitchen chair, make sure you put the back of the chair to your side. Just get a good foundation. And you crunch it. If you really want to get into it, use a dumbbell or some type of weight. All right? Next is Russian twist. So, same thing. If you don't want to get on the ground, that's fine. If you have weight, you're hip to hip. Hip to hip. Okay? If you don't have weights, clamp your hands together. Don't have your hands apart because you're not getting your full range of motion. Clamp your hands together, go hip to hip. Hip to hip. And it's the same thing if you were on the ground. Modifications. If you don't want to get on the ground and get up and get on the ground, you can do a standing Russian twist. You'll start from your hip and you're going to do an upside down U or a lowercase n. Hip all the way up to hip. Hip to hip. Same thing is going to be for the crunch. If you don't want to sit down and get up and sit down and get up, you can do a crunch. Make sure that you're hunching in the back and that you're tightening that core. So tighten that core, tighten that core, tighten that core, tighten that core. Okay, those are your modifications for a crunch and Russian twist. Knees to chest, knees to chest. You can do them either vertically or to the side, depending on if you want to work your obliques or the middle of your abdominal muscles. So working your obliques, you have your hands here, or you can have them up here. You want to bring those knees up as high as you can. Same thing on this side. Now, vertically, trying to bring that knee to your chest. All right? If you ever seen an HBCU band, you know they hit those 90s. That's what it is, knees to chest. Okay? Cardio. So we have high knees, simple. Bringing those knees up. If you want to make sure your knees are coming up high, put your hands there. Make sure your knees are slapping your hands. Now, if you can't do that, you can do the same thing. Same thing as knees to chest. So you can get a 2-for-1 special on this exercise. So you get cardio and abs. Jumping jacks. Jumping jacks. Alright, if you can't do it that way, step out to the side. Make sure you get you a good pace. Alright, you want to get that heart rate up when we're doing cardio. Same thing with the high knees. Get you a good pace. Alright, then we have in and outs. In and outs. And I'm going to put a twist to it too. So in and outs. Get you a good bend at the knees. And you're going in and out, in and out. You can switch it up. Switch your feet up. Alright, now modification. Just walk it out. Get you a good pace. Still got that bend in the knee, still feeling that burn. Alright, you can do the same thing, switch up feet. Now, here's the switch. You can do scissors. Scissors, you're just going from front to back. Modification for that, you're just stepping up, stepping back, stepping up, stepping back. You can switch your feet up if you want. Now, if you do that, if you want to do step-ups, if you have something you can step up on, that's fine. You can switch it up. Alright? So, there you have it. Those are the workouts that you're going to be doing. It's 12 total. It's 3 of each, upper body, lower body, core, cardio. You only need to pick one out of every group that we're doing. If you want to do all 12, that's fine. But you don't have to do all 12. Y'all be blessed. Can't wait to see y'all on February 5th. It's going to be exciting.